absolutely gorgeous day. Couldn't resist coming out to do a bit more on that last commission in East Sussex. So I've come across the border from Kent, and here we've got probably best part of 3.5 acres pasture. But what's interesting is it's in a prominent topographical position, as I've explained in the last video. But I'm slightly higher up from the ploughed bit that I completed last week, and if nothing transpires in this patch, then I'll go back to the ploughed section that I did in last week's video, namely because I found a George II halfpenny, a very toasted George II halfpenny, but as the saying goes, where there are Georgian, there are hammards. So it might be worth scouring a bit more soil in that particular field later on. We'll see how we get on here. There's a pillbox behind me because it takes in great views to the what would be the southeast, I guess. Interesting topographical position. Just have to see how hard the ground is. Anyway, I'll see you at the first hole. I'm accompanied by 3 horses who seem to be keeping themselves. Right, nice short grass for once. Given that we're in the midsummer now, middle of or end of June. I'm always looking out when I'm looking for fields that are eminently suitable at the detectability of it in terms of how close one can get the coil to the deck. So see if anything turns up. It's a fairly small area, but you never know. Right, the first thing I notice is how hard the ground is. That's 8 inches, that pinpointer, so 9 inches, so it's about 7 inches down. Evidently high up we're exposed, and the ground's basically just dried out. 2 weeks ago it was a different story. I think there's 14 this target. The imperative is to make sure the holes are filled in when there are horses. Right, it does look like the first target is in fact a coin or something of that ilk. I can see something green. Oh no, maybe not. It's a bent piece of copper alloy. I can't make out what that is, unfortunately. Right, on to the next. Well, these guys stick together. The one up the centre faces one way and the other 2 face the other. I don't know what that's about. They've been like that since about 9 o'clock this morning. Maybe something to do with the heat. Yeah, the ground's proved really hard. That was a piece of steel tube, by the way, modern. I may have to abort this particular patch and go over back to my ploughed area a few hundred yards away. Well, up there it's really parched, the ground. Come down here with the vain hope that the ground might be a little bit softer. I've got a signal here which is .22. 50% depth. Just get on and dig that one. It's a little bit softer, you can see. Also, there's a bit of shade afforded by the trees around the periphery of the field. Right, not many at all. 20 on the scale. Right. What is it? It's a boucle, not terribly old. $16, 75%. Give that a dig, hopefully it won't be too deep. It's a modern thing, I think. It says. Oh, that is actually a flange off a bell, I think. Do you recognise that? It's turned. It's heavy enough to be pewter. Yeah, I think that is the end of an 18th century style or earlier bell, quite a large bell. Would have been that sort of diameter. Cool, first interesting find. Right, I'm about 15 feet from that remains of a pewter bell. There's something down there. Could be a pewter button. No, it's too big to be that. Is that more of the bell, perhaps? Right, sorry. It is. 15 feet from the other piece, another piece. Start sticking the thing together soon. Have it brazed. Make a complete bell. Right, cool. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but I think I've just found another part of a bloomery. Huge lump of iron. It could be the base of a bloomery. But yeah, that's a large lump of iron. Slag or bloom, one or the other. These were the clay ovens that the Romans built in this area, in the Weald, basically to smelt iron, which was then, I believe, possibly taken either to Beauport Park near Hastings or exported into the remainder of the Roman Empire, whichever that might be, at whichever time. It came to an abrupt end in the middle of the 3rd century in most cases, for some obscure reason. But yeah, that's a whopping great piece of iron. Right, I think this was about 17, World War II, detritus. It's probably connected to the pillbox at the top. But it's, yeah, 50 cal, in other words, half an inch caliber machine gun bullet, World War II. Right, got quite a pingy non-ferrous for once. Obviously the bit over there is, must be some ironworking, because in the far field, the ploughed field that I did last week, in the far corner there was a big lump of bloomery waste. So this one's 21, it's deep as well. 21, 22 as I say, halfway up the non-ferrous. The Vanquish, -9 to +40 on this machine. See how hard the ground is though, up against. So A, you lose a bit of depth, tiny bit of depth, due to dryness of ground. B, you have this problem of having to dig to depth. Right, the last swing showed 24 on the scale. There it is. The other problem is obviously with the hard ground, it's so much easier to damage whatever it is you're trying to dig out. Have to be careful on that one. Give it a wide berth. I think that's going to be a bottle lid, but oh dear, it's a bloody bottle lid after all that. Oh well, such is. What does it say? Krona or something. What's that going to be? I was glassing the hole in this one, so it's going to be a bottle lid, unfortunately, I do believe. It's just, don't see there's any point in digging it out almost. Although next time we detect it might be helpful to get rid of it. Yeah, there it is. Bottle lid, 10p, 10 pence. What can you get for 10p now? I'm going to have to give it a break on this field because I don't know if you can see, but the hardness of the ground at the top. There's an interesting signal there, which you can't hear. But 20, I just can't. Need a bloody pickaxe or something. I'll wait till later on in the year when this ground gets soft again. Who'd have thought it 3 weeks ago when it was so wet. Going to take a break and then I'm going to go over to that ploughed area that I was doing last. Alright, making my way over to the ploughed field. These guys have gone back into their north-south-north configuration. As I say, I don't know what that's about, but evidently they do. That giant piece of iron, I put it in the water trough. Let's see how big it is. Could be the base of a bloomery, or some byproduct. I think it's a bloom, again, as per last week in the field I'm about to do, but we shall see. Pop it back in. Right, just going to head over to the point where I found that George II halfpenny, completely toasted, but where there are Georgian there are Hammards, the saying goes, amongst detectorists anyway. It's 20 past 5. I've been detecting about 2.5 hours on the ridge top, and now I've come over here, so hopefully give it another couple of hours and see what we find. What's interesting, they have in fact raked it since I last came last Wednesday, so that's fantastic. Right, got a signal straight away. 24, 70%. So let's see if we can do a bit better than we did on that tough old hilltop ground, which was only incidentally about 600 yards away. Fair bit of rubbish in this soil incidentally. Oh, it's a nut. Oh well, that goes with the bell end. We got a nut. Well, these are absolutely beautiful conditions because given that it's now been raked, I can just scan as much soil as possible and increase the odds. These are really important considerations actually. I found there's a bottle there which oh no, it's not. It's the end of an old bottle. I'll take that with me though because it does look quite old. This road incidentally, well you can't see it because it's to the right behind this hedge, is a very old road. It comes down to the Rother, and it may even been the road used either by Harold or the Conqueror when the invasion was undertaken. It basically ran to the river and then it ran west where the crossing is today. So it may predate the modern road. And as I say, the village is behind me, and that was razed to the ground in 1066. More bits of, I presume, Victorian pottery. It's got a green glaze. There's a northward view of the hilltop that I was detecting earlier, incidentally. Right, it was 16 anyway. Got it finally, whatever it is. It's a bloody nail. Oh, nail. Oh well. You get the non-ferrous tones because of the shape of the head, I think. It's not the... you get non-ferrous in the ferrous band and you get ferrous in the non-ferrous. And it's to do with the shape of the field that the object itself creates around itself. Right, I had a 22 and it was right on the surface, but I wasn't to be daunted by that because obviously it's just been ploughed. Not very deep. Ploughs around here don't plough very deep anymore. But we have something interesting. Have a coin. I think that's going to be another George VI or 5th. But yeah, another coin. One that I missed last week. Be nice if it was Victoria, but I think that's going to be Yeah, I think that's George V. penny. Oh, actually I can see this one, excuse me, lying on the surface. Or is it a button? No, it's not a coin. Something else. Some brass fitting of some description, I think. Or it, yeah, or could even, don't know, could be part of a machine. I'll clean it and post it up. Right, 23, 24. Started off as a higher number. Tends to be rubbish, these high numbers. Yeah, there you go. There's a piece of the end of a tube or a piece of foil. Not a hammer coin, unfortunately, it's aluminium. Out of a hole producing a very high 33, which tends to be rubbish, I've got to come out of the spoil of the hole, what do you call it, clay pipe stem, I think. Yeah. Right, it's just a piece of trash, unfortunately. Don't know what that is, a piece of steel or something. Well, I can't see it. Oh, there we are. Musket ball. Oh, I really wanted to find one of those here. I think the landowner would be pleased with that. I mean, you find them daily in other places, but still, it's the first one here. Something non-ferrous in this ball. 26, I think it was. Quite a high number. What's it going to be? Oh, what on earth is that? Yeah, I can see some machined metal with splines or something, so just had this. I think this could be older than the other things I've been finding in this field. Came up as 18, but I think it's a pot leg. It's got that ancient looking patina, if you know what I mean. Not got, might be it's broken at the top there, I don't know if you can see. But yeah, that looks like a pot leg from something quite old. I'll probably make this the last, what is it, 5 to 7. This was a 22, so I wonder if it's a coin. Come on, the last thing. Something small. What is it? I don't know what that is. It's not a shell. It's not artillery anyway. Ordnance, I should say. It's the end of a cane or something, maybe. End of a nice day. Didn't find anything particularly ancient apart from that pot leg, but the bell, I don't know. I did say it was 18th century. Could be more recent than that. And thanks for watching. If you like what I do and you want to keep posted, please hit the subscribe button. Cheers for now. Okay, a quick resume of the finds. 10 on the left from the pasture field at the beginning, which turned out to be a little bit hard, so we moved on to the ploughed, which is on the right. So we've got 10 on the left and 18 on the right. They're the bits of the bell, Peter Bell, 1, 2, 3, 4. These bottle lids from the 60s used to, if you brought the bottle back, that was your deposit, 10p, so you got your 10p back. A couple of other lids and a piece of steel tube. So not much, because obviously I had to call a halt to that particular field. This is a rather nice blue colour. I don't know if you can see that end of a glass bottle. That's a 1944 half-inch caliber machine gun bullet, found in the same field as the well, it's actually found in the field. It should be on the left, sorry. Should be on the left side. And there's a plain buckle, which I showed you in the video. What else of interest? Oh yeah, musket ball. That's from the ploughed area. Ploughed area was about 3 acres. I said in my last video it was about 2, but it's not. The coin is a 1 penny from the 1940s. I can't quite make out the date, but it's George VI penny. That's the pot leg. Now that could... I posted it on my forum group, and early post-medieval cooking pot leg. They had 3 legs often. It's made of brass. It could be, if it's early post-medieval, the medieval ended in 1475 and run to, or the post-medieval 1475 to 1750. So it's probably from the 1500s, that sort of date. That's interesting because most of the finds are from the 17 and 1800s in this field and the 1900s and beyond, but you often get that one odd item that's out of kilter with the dates. But it could be that in the 1700s they had pots lying around, cooking pots from the 16 and 1500s. People kept things in the past. That's a doorknob. Bits of aluminium, 3 bits of lead, nondescript lead. Lead was used for repairing holes in pottery vessels and the like. Oh, two clay pipe stems. So a fair few. I found one on the last trip, if you remember. Don't know what that thing turned out to be. It's like the end of a, as I say, might have gone on the end of a cane or something. But that's it in general. I'll report to you when I go out next, on my next day off from work. And once again, thank you very much for watching.